Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending to this information session. So I'm the director of marketing management program. So my pleasure to introduce this program and give you some information, hopefully interesting and useful for you to determine to join our program. So I'm going to take maybe 40 minutes to give you some information. Stop me if you would like to know more. But this is the the topics. So just very briefly about our profile, class profile, and then our aims and some details about the program. And we have different mode for students to take in addition to part-time and full-time, right? We have dissertation mode versus non-dissertation mode. So there are some details. For some of you might be interested in credit transfer. So if you take some related course before, you may be able to transfer some credits, but there are some conditions. Okay, and there are also some like fee and other things. Okay, so stop me if you need me to clarify, but otherwise I'm going to go through this. So the first one, the average is 28 years old. So and most people are female. This is generally true in Hong Kong. And then the work years, the work experience is last year, it's almost, yes, 6 years. So as you can tell from these numbers, mostly if you are guys here, but you can imagine in future classrooms, I mean, most of your peers are female students. This work experience, I think, is a very important feature of our students. So we are okay. So we are as you can see from the information provided online, we prefer students who have years of work experience, not necessarily in marketing field. So that's why we call our program is like a conversion program. So you are not fresh graduate, because normally we don't admit fresh graduates unless they have some very unique background, right? So they can make the classroom more, I mean, more interesting. So they bring in new perspective, unique experiences, including work experience or learning experience. So, or they have some good training in some aspect where we think important. For example, last year we admitted some fresh graduates from American or Canadian universities. They are very good universities. They have good training in solid training in economics or statistics, because we now realize the importance of quantitative marketing, data-based marketing. But many students, they didn't have much experience on that. They didn't learn related courses. So we intentionally invite some fresh undergraduates, right, to our classroom to help each other, right? Because they have very good training in quantitative methods. And I just mentioned, we welcome people with work experience, but not necessarily in marketing. So you say you are a policeman, or you are in education, or in many other industry other than marketing. You are very welcome to join our program. Why we emphasize on experience, or even without, I mean, not in the in marketing field, because I think the orientation is very different. If you are, if you don't have, let's say you just you are a fresh graduate, you don't know what you want to do, right? That's normally the case. So when you take this join our program, you'll say, oh, this is maybe similar to the programs I did in my university. So let me just understand what is going on there. I think this orientation is not consistent with our goal. Our goal is not only let you know, but how to apply. So that's our emphasis. And that's distinguish our program maybe from other programs. For example, if you may, I guess maybe you can do some research about other programs. For example, marketing management. This is a very popular program offered by CTU, Hong Kong U, Hong Kong UST. But if you check, right, our program has a rather long, more years, our students have more years of experience. We want our students to be able to apply, not only to know, right? So this distinguishes us from CTU graduates and Hong Kong U graduates. They invite maybe fresh graduate, right? We are not so keen to recruit those fresh graduates, right? Because if you have many years of experience, you have your interest, right? You know the application is more important than just knowing something, right? Application is more important. So that's distinguish us. Okay. So we really emphasize on application, right? So see here, the program enabled non-marketing graduates to connect theory with practice. Practice is important. And it covers many courses such as online consumer behavior, right? Analytical methods as well as quantitative methods, right? Because quantitative, for example, marketing research, business method, right? Research method. So there, obviously, it depends on your personal interest. If you are so afraid of them, that's okay. But we encourage students to take this their elective courses, right? But there are also some compulsory courses, as I'm going to talk about later. So the objective solve problems, right? So that's our orientation. We stress on application. So you know the principles, you know the terms, so you can speak with marketing professionals, right? That's the basics. But on the other hand, we emphasize application, so solve problems. So the courses, even in the compulsory courses, they are principles. We emphasize on how to apply them rather than just to let you know about the concepts and the models. Okay, and then analysis of consumer behavior. This is a very basic, right? Consumer study, consumer research, consumer behavior. This is very important, like the building brick of marketing management. But we also provide some new perspectives. For example, this one is new. This is rather new, 20 years old new, or 30 years old new. So this concept actually is very quantitative. It's very quantitative. We used to teach this course with a very managerial, not so quantitative. But these days, because marketing become more and more quantitative, so we want to teach it with quantitative perspective, not with quantitative method, but quantitative perspective. So we don't expect our students to be able to run statistical program or whatever, so do statistical analysis. But as a marketing manager, right, these days, you need to be aware of the statistical tools, and maybe you can understand the insight from statistical tools. That's what we want our students to be able to do. Let me repeat this, right? Don't be frightened. I'm saying that now this class, this subject is taught more with a quantitative perspective, right? So we are not we should not be afraid of math or statistics, right? But we are not mathematician, we are not a statistician, right? But we need to have that mindset. So to comprehend, to appreciate the value right? The insight derived from quantitative tools, right? Maybe, yeah, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but later when when you enter the program, you will see how it goes, right? How we can marketing professionals nowadays can benefit from insights from statistical tools, right? Customer value. This is really a number. At each customer represent a benefit, a value, a revenue or profit to us. So we will evaluate each customer's value, right? So this is very quantitative. How can we evaluate a customer's value to us in terms of revenue, in terms of profit, in terms of contributing our contributing good of mouth among other customers. There are many ways to measure consumer value, right? But the core is to make this quantitative so that we can use data, right, to draw insights, right, to help making better marketing decision. Obviously, as I just mentioned, consumer behavior is a building break. So this is one of the compulsory subject. So in addition to the fundamentals, we also have large number of additional courses, right? Selective courses. So depending on your interest, right? So it's a conversion, as I just mentioned, diverse electives, excellent teaching faculty in marketing. For compulsory courses, some of the academic researchers are going to be the lecture, right? But for most of the elective courses, the lectures are professor of practice. So they are DBA or PhD. In marketing, they have been doing marketing for decades. So they are very experienced practitioners, right? Okay, so some details of the program. So we have different modes. As you can see here, we have FT, full-time versus part-time. So it can be part-time or full-time. Full-time, so before, most of our students are part-time. So they take the course in the evenings, right? From Monday to Friday evenings. But these days we have more and more full-time students. Now full-time students are the majority. Okay, so that's why we also offer classes in weekdays, right? Weekdays in the afternoon, evening, right? Noon time. So we actually provide more flexibility for students to pick subjects to take. So full-time, 1.5 years, part-time, 2.5 years. So full-time, because they are your full-time student, so you can devote all your time. Many full-time students are from mainland China, right? They aim to finish as soon as possible, right? So even though we say 1.5, but we strive to help our student if they wish to finish within 1 year. So we will make more product offering, trying to manage, provide different courses, while so that enable some full-time students who want to finish within 1 year. But regularly it's 1.5 year, right? We also have the part-time, so 2.5 years. Let's say you register as a part-time or full-time, but for some reason you have to, you cannot finish it. You can apply and extend, right? So the class time normally weekday evening, right, for part-time, but also nowadays in noon afternoon or noon or even in the morning, there may be some courses offering. Okay, so now some more details. So altogether, we have 31 credits, meaning, so as you can see here, for each of the subjects, a normal subjects, we have, okay, normal. So it's just like a common subject you take. So that subject, each subject has 3 credits. So then you need to take 10 subjects to get 30 credits, right? But there's another one. It's called the ethics, business ethics, which is a short subject, right? Account for only 1 credit. So 10 common subject to take plus 1 ethic. This is a small subject to take. So if you got the 31, you are qualified for a degree, right? So the 4 compulsory plus 6 electives plus 1 compulsory, the ethic course, and then you finish, right? This is the non-dissertation mode, but some people like to have maybe more in-depth examination or study of some particular research area or industry, right? So they can go for the dissertation mode. So you can write a dissertation. Now, this dissertation is a quite rigorous academic, right? So this dissertation is equal to 3 common subjects. So you can either take 1 dissertation or take 3 subjects. So it's up to you. So the dissertation allow you to do some in-depth analysis of some industries. For example, if you say you're interested in live streaming marketing or social media marketing, so you are so interested in that so that you want to do some research on this. So you can write a dissertation on this, right? And we will help you to find a supervisor. And dissertation may take, it's up to you. Some people like just take the subject, but others say, oh, I write dissertation, so I have more flexibility, right? So it's up to you to pick. But to write a dissertation, you need to take a course, research method, right? As I said, this dissertation is not just like a survey of the, write a literature review kind of dissertation. No, you have to collect data and use data to analyze data and make some, right, draw some conclusion. So that for that reason, you need to take research method course. Okay, those who are unable to complete the MSc program may graduate with a postgraduate diploma if you got enough credit. Okay, so we do provide some flexibility, right? One is to, you take it more than 2.5 years as a part-time or 1.5 years as a full-time. You can also, for some reason, you just cannot finish, but still you can get a postgraduate diploma. So non-dissertation option and dissertation option. And for these 4 are compulsory. You have to take these courses. They are the fundamentals, right? We also have a fundamental course for the named organization and management. So it's not necessarily in the marketing field, right? Because we think as an adult, right? As on average, as a student with 5 or 6 years of work experience, you should have some understanding of management, right? That's why we have this one as a compulsory. But as you can see, all others are marketing related. Okay, so these 4 are compulsory, have to pick. This is also like a compulsory. So it's ethic, right? Integrity and ethics in business. Okay, if you are taking the non-dissertation option, but if you take the dissertation option, so you can choose less number of electives, but you have to take the research method subject. As you can see here, we have a large pool of electives. We really provide a rich elective courses for our students to cater for their different preferences and needs, right? Ranging from, for example, social media marketing, service marketing. These are traditional classical ones. For others, for example, sales management, right? This is a very specialized area in marketing or B2B marketing. We also understand the importance of cross-cultural perspectives in marketing, because many people in Hong Kong as well as in mainland, they do cross-country international marketing. So cross-cultural marketing, cross-cultural perspective is important. This is a new course we offered only from 2 years ago, right? As you can also see, there are many quantitative perspective. They are not quantitative course, but they have quantitative perspective. For example, business analytics, right? Decision analytics by machine learning, technology innovation. From here, there are many, right? Quite a few of them. So you can see we want our students to be able to catch up, right? Keep pace with the advances in marketing field, because marketing field is evolving, becoming more and more data-based, right? Data-based, big data. They use big data nowadays. So we have to keep pace with the new development in marketing field. We also have some courses offered by other departments than marketing and management department. We also have some electives provided by, for example, the accounting or the logistic department. So here, this is a general overview of the progression pattern. So if you are a part-time student, right? So 2.5 years. So we have year 1, you have 2 compulsory, 1+1 compulsory, this ethic class. So 3 classes for part-time. For part-time, you most likely you take the class in the evenings, right? So only 3 classes. So this one is a small class, right? It's not 13 classes, right? So these are 13 classes. So that means that every week you need to attend to take the classroom twice or at most 3 times each week, right? That's the workload you can see. And then semester 2 also 2, right? Also 2. So 2. So basically you can tell the workload, right? Every week you need to devote 2 evenings to take the class, right? But you can finish within 2.5 years. And if you take the full-time mode, so you expect to finish within 1.5 years. So in year 1, you need to take more, right? As well as in other semesters. So for example, here you take like 4, at most 4, right? This week, every week you expect to take 4, right? 2 + 2, 4 classes. So each evening, not always evening, because if you're full time, there are some courses offered in afternoons, for example. But every week you expect to take 4 classes, to attend 4 classes. But you say, oh, I want to finish within 1 year, right? So then you have to take some more courses in semester 1 and semester 2. Plus, we have a summer term, right? Before, there are not many summer term courses offering, but these days, because we have more students who are doing the full-time, so we offer summer courses, quite a few summer courses, enabling our students to finish within 1 year. We will help students to register, to choose what subject to take, right? Step by step. Okay, so career development. So we have a balanced curriculum. So we have theoretical rigor, so which are mostly taught in the compulsory subjects, the 4 compulsory. So you have a good comprehensive understanding of the marketing field, marketing terms and marketing frameworks and models. So you have a good theoretical foundation, and then we have the practical edge, as I emphasized many times. Our program have students have 5 to 6 years of work experience on average, right? And we have a large number of professors of practice teaching our many elective courses. So we really want to expose our students to the most recent practices in the marketing field to build your practical edge. We also have the leadership initiative for future talents. So we have professional coaching. This is also very important and increasingly important component of our program. So this program is not very old. It's only started 2 years ago, last year. It is the program very well welcomed by our students. So we have a professional coaching, and these are beyond the 31 credits I just mentioned. This is like free. This is free, right? So we invite experts in coaching, right? To coach our students in terms of career development, how to interview with your potential employee, how to talk and communicate with leaders in the field, right? Or manager, high level managers, how to do networking. So we provide some networking events just to help our students to develop the skills, right? And then we have also other community events. So we have a alumni gathering, we have a reception gathering for new students before they do or after they do the school orientation, right? So there are different events organized by our program. And obviously, there are also other programs provided by the university you can take. But here are something we provided. Our program provides, right? Coaches, mentors, and industry contacts. Okay. So see here some pictures. So this is their tour to some places, wetland or to other places, to get students, particularly some mainlanders, to get used to the life in the work environment in Hong Kong. But we also brought our students to Shenzhen to see what is going on in the some new developing area in Shenzhen, right? So to connect between classroom to the practice, to connect between mainland and Hong Kong, right? So we have a company visit. We have a skill set workshop, including interviewing techniques, skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, right? Professional networking. We have this. Supportive community. You can see here, there are some tools, right? This is a picture from last year. So assessment method. This assessment for the subjects for you to get credits, right? So we have individual and group assignment. Normally this is the case for all the subjects you take, right? So we have individual and group. Some people like to do individual, others like enjoying work with class peer students to develop a spirit, team spirit, to have fun, right? So we also have examination or quizzes, but there are also courses without doing examination. So they are project based, right? So team project, this is very common. Students as an individual or team to do presentation, right? Many lectures also assess based on class participation. So we do invite students to share your views, right? As you can imagine, if we have 5 or 6 years of work experience, you can imagine some of your students just sitting beside you, they have a very rich experience. Some students have very senior marketing experiences, right? So we encourage our students to participate class discussion. Credit transfer, right? So there are some conditions. If you take the similar or the same subject taught in an undergraduate program, no, you cannot transfer. So you can only transfer credits from a postgraduate program, right? There are also a limit, a ceiling. So you can only transfer, let's say validity period is only within 8 years. If you took the subject 10 years ago, no, it's too old. So it has to be relatively new, and there's an upper limit, right? So you cannot transfer more than, for example, 40% of the total credits. So entrance requirement, we expect you to have a bachelor's degree or its equivalent in any discipline. So we don't discriminate students with the other background than marketing. So actually, we really encourage those people to apply to us. As long as you marketing is interesting to you, or you want to devote yourself in future in the marketing field, you're very welcome to apply. Relevant work experience is preferred. What is relevant? You say you're doing accounting. Is it relevant? I think it's relevant because doing accounting for many years, you know what is going on in the real world, right? You know, oh, we want to do something and produce. I mean, you give return to your employee, to your company, right? So your orientation is very different now. Not just to know, but to apply, to contribute to your firm, to the organization. But this orientation is very important, right? Among the people who have years of experience versus as opposed to the fresh graduate, right? So relevant, even you are accountant, you are a doctor, or you are a policeman, right? We appreciate your experience. By the way, GMAT is not required. It is our program is a master's program, but we don't require you to provide GMAT, right? We ask you to provide score test, right? With TOEFL, right? With IELTS, right? Within 2 years. Oh. Here. Yeah, within 2 years. So there are some the number, and the slides are going to be shared online, right? So you can check in detail afterwards. Home edition, you see here indicator test, and these things will not be considered for meeting the English. So you can read some of the details, right? So so far, oh, it only goes forward. So here, English test is a must. You have to show right? Your score. You don't need to provide GMAT. So this is important. Many students, many applicants apply online, right? They send email asking, should we provide a reference? So if you work somewhere and I mean, some school, some program ask for reference letters, right? We do not. You don't need to. You just submit the material requested by us. The materials not required are, I mean, it's really not required. You don't need to submit. You do not need to submit reference letters. Okay. Okay. Tuition fee. So local and non-local for the coming year. So this is the total fee per program. Okay. Continuing education fund. This only applicable to Hong Kong local students. If you're local students, the government support, I mean, sponsor some of the subjects. There are a few subjects, right? You can apply for a fund. Will help you to apply once you are admitted. Admission information. So the deadline is April 30th. So it's far from today. So many months, right? You can prepare your material just according to the requirement, right? As I said, you don't need to provide reference letters. So you don't need to, right? Okay, so what we do, we have, before reaching the deadline, we may have rounds of interviews, right? So if, let's say, the deadline is April 30, but you already submitted, you don't enjoy some privilege. So our interview, I mean, our selection of the candidates is on a rolling basis, right? So if you submit it earlier, you don't have advantage. If you submit late, but before April 30, you are not disadvantaged, right? So we keep the same standard. We keep the same standard. We may schedule 4, 5, or 6 rounds of interviews, right? So batch by batch. For example, within 2 months, so we will see if there are enough number of candidates, then we schedule an interview with this batch. But then on the next batch, right? So we'll select among a different pool. So as long as you submit your application before April 30th, you are not 30, you are not disadvantaged. Okay. Academic year starts next year, September 1st. Inquiries, you can send some, I mean, general inquiry you can send to me to this email. But if you are really looking at some details, for example, is this okay as a test? I mean, this score, I did it, I got it. I mean, writing the examination at home, is this okay? So for such details, please email to, so application matters, you email to this one, mm.msc@polyu. Right? So this one for application matters. Oh, thank you so much.